Carter Bear is one of the most certain bets to play an impactful role in the NHL in the entire class. His game is built for the league. He has the motor, the physical skills, the playmaking, the hockey sense, the shot, and the net front game. And he's one of the fiercest prospects we've seen. Bear featured in our top 10 for most of the season, but now that he suffered an injury, he may fall at the draft, becoming a potential highly valuable pick deeper in the teens. In this video, we're going to break down shifts from one of his best games of the season and look at some of his top highlights too, to better understand his projection, strengths, and weaknesses.
And try to create something as Everett takes off the other way, brought onside by Bear, go to the net, backhand scores! He gets the hat trick to give Everett a 2-goal lead again.
In the first shift, we already see the foundation of Bear's game. He gets in on the forecheck, takes away passes to the middle, and closes on the opponent with a good angle, creating a steal that his team can't fully convert into possession. Then he tracks back, gives support to his teammate in a regroup, the puck changes side again, and Bear makes a good breakout play. He goes to the wall, scans for options, and makes a great bump pass to a teammate. These were all simple plays, but he made them precisely with good habits and foresight. These habits are partly why Bear is receiving a boost on many draft boards. He already looks like a professional player in moments. In his defensive positioning, in the way he skates on the forecheck, in his awareness and ability to support teammates. And he has that layer of skill and hockey sense on top of those habits. Here, he turns an aggressive forecheck steal into a goal by instantly spotting his support, creating the give and go, and then faking the goalie one-on-one.
Nice strip by Carter Bear in the slot, give and go to Bear down low, backhand shot, score! He goes 5-hole and scores, and the Tips on their first shot of the game take.
Here's another high-end playmaking idea in this next shift. Bear is not an elite stick handler, but he can bait and avoid poke checks, and he retains a high awareness of the ice as he attacks. And then he drives the net at just the right angle and speed to get this rebound and score. And this is another great moment for Bear, where he shows a lot of anticipation.
Gotten the puck in and controlled into the offensive zone. Everett with some good sticks.
The puck gets chipped in, and he pressures ahead along with a teammate. Bear makes a great read here. He applies pressure to the left of this opponent, making him think that this side of the ice is covered and that he's getting double pressured. But then he pulls back and moves to the wall. Instantly, Bear knows his next play. He feels the defense closing on him and sends the puck to space, to his defenseman attacking the high slot. Bear has a great tactical understanding of the game. He knows where space will develop, how to exploit it, how to time himself with the play, and how players will react to his movements. This is why we gave him a high-end hockey sense grade. He can sell plays with deception, he looks to use the back layers of the attack, he makes his plays quickly to take advantage of open lanes, and passes in the right spots with the right weight.
The puck down over the corner, his level hurry tied up by Corbeil. A pair of 22s working it out, came out in front, wrist shot, they score, it's Temple! It's the hat trick marker.
Everett zone. They'll start a line change, tips right back into in on the attack. Cole Temple, a drop pass into the right circle now again. Wrist shot, Roos scores! Relentless pressure by the Silver Tips, and Austin Roos in his season debut gives Everett a 6-5 lead. But he knew he was eventually.
Bear played center in some games this season. It felt more natural to him than most wingers because of his awareness, positioning ability, and playmaking. We could see him make that switch over the next seasons, if Everett and his NHL team wants it. We see his attention to details once again, as he takes away the stick of the defender and pushes him back. He tries to create a bit more space for his teammate to cut inside. The puck turns over, so he climbs high to safeguard his team, and then he becomes F1 on the forecheck. He again tries to anticipate the route of the puck-retrieving opponent. He wins possession and places the puck inside space for his teammate. Again, it's a small thing, but he places his pass very well. He sends it slow and off the wall to make it easy for his teammate to pick up the pass and make the next play. Bear is one of those players who's very easy to play with, that makes others better. He will do the dirty work to make others shine. And we haven't seen the full extent of his motor yet. He's a player you can't take out of the play. Despite not being the best skater, he's always chasing after opponents and the puck and putting pressure on the opposition. But he also does it in a controlled way. He doesn't overshoot the play. He unleashes his energy only when there's a reason to do it.
Play to the corner. Pekash trying to work it loose, blue line. Davidson kept it in, but it hit his stake. Here's Bear breaking the other way, short-handed. Coots trying to catch him. Shot, backhand save of the near post made by Ratzlaff, and the T-Birds take it to center ice.
This goal is pretty incredible. not just because of the Crosby-like power on that backhand, but because of the way he set it up. He chose that shot knowing that he had a teammate rushing through the middle and that the goalie would respect that threat, not fully closing that space near the post in case he had to move across. Bear's shot will enable him to score at the NHL level. It projects as above average in the league. He fires with a really short draw and can pick his spots on the goalie very well. And there's also some deception in his release, as he adapts the timing and the positioning of it to play with defenders and goalies.
At the blue line, Jamieson right wing, feeds Bear on the outside, cutting to the slot, wrister, he scores! Unable to get a shot off, Schaefer heads back towards the wing, it's Bear fielding the cycle, Bear with a wrister, he scores! Carter Bear!
On time with Friesen, and a shake and bake off one Everett player, stolen away, Heslop brings it in, 3-on-1, in front for Bear, he scores.
But again, what makes Bear an attractive target at the draft is that, on top of his skills, it's also easy to look at his shifts and project them to the NHL, as he makes the same plays that happen in the league over and over again. He steals pucks on the forecheck, plays with intensity, makes simple but effective cycle plays, and doesn't keep the puck on his stick too long. He seems to always be in the position's way when they try to build a play. These are the kind of qualities that make the success of Seth Jarvis in Carolina. Jarvis had a better rush game in his draft year, and he was more elusive, but there are many similarities between the two players, even with how they're being valued in the draft class. Jarvis was drafted 13th overall, but he would move way up in a redraft. He's also, in our opinion, a top 10 under-23 skater in the NHL right now. Like we've seen earlier, Bear's stick work and routes on the forecheck and his ability to win battles lead to turnovers that his team can then exploit. We see the great scoring chances he can create out of those steals, and with his ability to support teammates, spin off and push off contact, and attack the inside part of the ice.
7 minutes into the third, Binder-Nord taps it to the blue line, kept in by Kaplan. Nice pinball pass by Kaplan, finds Temple behind the net, who hands off to Bear. In the trapezoid, spins off a defender, Bear, a sharp angle shot, he scored! Carter Bear sneaks it through! What an effort, what a shot! In, Shetler wins it away. Left wall, Miettinen whacks it behind the end line. Bear racing for it, near wall, Miettinen slot to his left, Smith, square, scores! Terrence Smith.
The weaker point of Bear's projection may be his skating. He can acquire some speed with crossovers, but he's not the most agile or the fastest mover. That has an impact on his ability to generate offense from the neutral zone. But his ability to make difficult passes, like this high lob pass that falls perfectly for a teammate, will compensate somewhat for his average skating stride. The bigger question mark is how his average skating and size will affect his ability to win battles at the NHL level. Arriving first to a loose puck, getting inside positioning, and controlling the battle may be a bit more difficult for him in some situations. But Bear has all the physical techniques, and he's quite literally a bear on the ice, with his fierce nature and relentless energy. His elite motor will matter a lot in battles, more so than his agility and size. Yes, he had an injury that could potentially affect his skating. I'm far from an expert on this, but that Achilles injury doesn't seem to be as major as anticipated, considering he's already back on the ice. While there's a bit of risk around Bear's profile, to us, he's a top 10 prospect in this draft class. Few players have an elite motor, high-end hockey sense, and the scoring and physical skills to go with those qualities. It's for sure an NHL package, and Bear is not done improving. He could become one of those top 6 players who support a line, play on the defensive side, drive the play, earn a ton of minutes, and score a lot as a result.
Put some pressure on the Raiders' breakout as Rudolph sends it behind the net. And it's picked up by Pinoca, stolen away. Now here's Carter Bear in alone, a fire save made, rebound, and Hildebrand another great save. Silvertip still with it, Bear towards the side of the net, they score! Everett Silvertips have a shorthanded goal thanks to Carter Bear.
So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. And check out the news section of Elite Prospects and our upcoming draft guide if you want to read more prospect analysis.